Welcome to the Dreamlands. We're back with some more Deserts of Kharak multiplayer. This time around we're looking at a 1 versus 1 on the Shallows, and it is going to be the classic matchup of Coalition versus Gaalsien. Also, two very good players. We're going to have the Gaalsien, helmed by Indigo, who you will be familiar with if you follow Deserts of Kharak. He also was featured in my last multiplayer game. And his opponent is going to be Coercer, playing as the Coalition. So the map is the Shallows. Now, due to the map layout, I fully expect to see a more macro-oriented game. The rush distance between players, as you can see here, is very, very long. In addition to that, the layout of resources actually very much favors a macro build because your starting location is pretty much unassailable here. You can just defend this one area, this wide area right here, and that'll allow you to mine off of 3 resourcing locations. So if there ever was a macro 1 versus 1 map, this is it. And as these players get their starting builds underway, just before we do player introductions, I wanted to mention to you guys that I know a number of you have been inquiring about some multiplayer build order and strategy tutorial videos, and that is something that I'm working on currently. I know I've talked about it a little bit to a few of you. They are definitely in the works. There's going to be it'll be like a new series, kind of as a follow-up to my faction overview series. So there are a number of videos in the works. I just want to put a little bit of more effort into them to make sure that they are kind of suitable for an appropriate skill level. I'm aiming for kind of tutorials for like a beginner to intermediate level of skill. People that are looking to just get into the multiplayer and get themselves sorted out with a bit of build orders, some opening build orders, some playstyle strategies. So yeah, those are coming, just working on them. And I wanted to give you guys a heads up about that. So with that said, let's do some player introductions. Spawning on the south side of the Shallows, we have Coercer, playing as the red and white Gaalsien. Pardon me, the red and white Coalition. Now his opponent, spawning on the north side of the Shallows, we have Indigo, playing as the green and purple Gaalsien. So once again, this is a Coalition versus Gaalsien. One of my favorite matchups for sure, if not my favorite, simply due to how drastically different both of these factions are. They make for some very, very interesting games. And especially on this map where we are very likely to see a macro game, which is what I'm anticipating, and it's pretty much what I'm seeing at this point. Let's bring the UI back up here. So Coercer actually went for a support cruiser first, as we can see. That is one of the builds I will be covering in my videos. And it's a build that is not really recommended often for 1 versus 1. However, definitely viable on this map. It's a really good build order for this map, as a matter of fact. So Coercer is now mining off of 2 resourcing locations. He has his carrier out in a defensive position, and now he's producing AAVs and sending them out onto the field. He also has his base runner, who has grabbed an artifact and is bringing it into the extraction zone. And his opponent, Indigo, has actually gone for production cruiser refinery mode, as well as a second production cruiser. So being super greedy and looking to set up a 3 base economy. He's now started producing some sand skimmers and is sending them along the left side of the map to try and intercept this base runner here. However, Coercer does have 2. Oh my, he's got 4 AAVs on the field, so more than enough to shut this down, and in fact enough to even push forward and do some significant damage to Indigo's economy, punish that greed a little bit if he so chooses, and I think he should choose that. That would be a great idea. Now he's being a little bit apprehensive with this artifact, which I don't think he needs to do. There simply isn't enough skimmers here to even stop that base runner. not even taking into account all of these AAVs. So I think in this situation, the best thing that Coercer can do is send 2 AAVs up here, bring his base runner to deliver the artifact, and send 4 more AAVs, because he has 6 now, on to do some harassment. However, his window seems to be closing pretty darn quickly. There are now assault ships on the field for Indigo. He's going to pick up a sand skimmer, which is okay. I do like this though. He already has armor upgrades for his AAVs. That'll be level 1, I believe. Yes, it is. So he's got level 1 armor, and that's going to give his AAVs a pretty good advantage in these fights here. You know, that was some good smoke here, actually. I think that Coercer can take this fight, to be honest with you. After that smoke, he can just push in here exactly like what he's doing. Flank with these AAVs and just push forward with these AAVs. Oh, but he has a turret down here. I see that's what he was doing. So he was luring these units back to the turret post. But a good engagement for Coercer. He was able to take down in total a couple of skimmers and an assault ship. So he's looking pretty strong. He also has another turret basically blocking off Indigo's extraction zone. So that's pretty nice too. Some very, very good map control here from Coercer. However, he is running behind on economy, so he needs to get some units in here and see what Indigo's doing. He needs that scouting information. Even send a drone from the base runner here, because he needs to know that Indigo is on 3 resourcing locations and set up his own, which he's doing now, so that's good. I like that a lot. And he's actually sending in a nice backstab. So really well done, actually. I'm very impressed with Coercer's play in this game. Really, really nice here. Fighting under the cover of his turret along the left side, covering mid with a couple AAVs, at the right side covered with a turret, and sending 2 AAVs in for some economic damage. He's taken out a salvager. He's going to get 2, probably 3, but now you've got interceptors on the field, and that's going to be a problem. So I assume he's just going to go ahead and research missile battery fabrication. Yep, he's done that. Great answer. Boom, he's got 3 salvagers. This was a very, very nice backstab here. And now the reason I like that so much is not only was he able to do a significant amount of economic damage. Whoa, a bomber. I don't think 1 bomber is enough to really do much at this point in the game, so we can continue talking about what I was saying. So those 2 AAVs, not only did they do a significant amount of economic damage, but they also forced Indigo to reveal his hand. Now he was going for an air switch, which you can see he's got 3 interceptors and a bomber. And I suspect that if Coercer didn't push forward, he would not have known about it, and it would have been several minutes, in fact, before Indigo really revealed his hand. And by that point, he would have had such an overwhelming swarm of air units that it pretty much would have done crippling, perhaps even game-ending damage. And we do have a backstab. Couple of sand skimmers, not enough to do any appreciable damage. So nice reaction from Coercer. He was able to use just a couple AAVs in his carrier to push that off, and now he is pushing up on the left side. He's got missile batteries, he's got railguns, he has AAVs, he's about to deliver his first artifact. So Coercer looking pretty strong. You know, once he can get a few more anti-air units onto the field, I think he'll be in a pretty good spot. In fact, at this point, he might want to get a couple of turrets as well, like anti-air turrets. He does have 2 base runners on the field, so if he can just drop like 2 anti-air turrets, get a couple more missile batteries, he'll be able to shut that play down and grab 2 artifacts. He does have a 1-0 lead, so in the next few minutes, if he plays his cards right, he could be up to a 3-0 lead in terms of artifacts. So Coercer playing very strong.
Armored assault online.
He's mostly keeping pace economically. I mean, he needs some support cruisers on the field. Okay, so he does have a second one in production, and that's good.
Be advised. Team en route to recover the artifact.
But with constant bomber production, what it's starting to look like to me, is the much maligned bomber cheese. Gaalsien bombers are honestly kind of bullshit. Like, they're so strong. And if you let a Gaalsien player sit here and just get 5 bombers, what he's going to do is he's going to send his bombers out onto the field and just start sniping all of your support cruisers. And it can be so frustrating to deal with and so difficult to deal with that you really need an overwhelming amount of anti-air to deal with that. And see, what we're starting to see already is just this air swarm. Now these bombers are so tanky, they can eat missile hits all day and still deliver their payload, and it's exactly what you're seeing. They're just sniping each of the missile batteries and each of the anti-air turrets. But Coercer is holding his own. That's pretty good. And he's up on artifacts again, so he was able to deliver 2 artifacts on the back of all this fighting. Really, really well done. Another backstab coming in. Wow, I like this game a lot. There's a ton of action. So Indigo coming in with another backstab, but this carrier and this 2 AAVs are going to be able to just shut this down quite easily. A couple of salvagers go down to bomber fire. How much power do we got here? Oh wow, we have quite a bit of power. So this carrier is looking pretty strong here. Coercer needs to get 1 AAV maybe, just back here. I'd like to see him do that. However, he's still very much in this game. I mean, he's got 2 anti-air turrets, 2 missile batteries. He's now researched support cruiser anti-air, so Coercer is looking pretty darn strong. He has almost enough anti-air to really deal with the bomber spam. He's gonna need like maybe 2 more missile batteries, 1 or 2 more, and then he'll be in pretty good shape. But he is going for artillery cruiser fabrication. That is awesome. What do we got here for Indigo? We've got 3 production cruisers on the field. We've got sand skimmers and heavy rail guns. Pretty scary. Pretty difficult to push into this kind of build. But still, I mean, like, both players are actually neck and neck in terms of military units and in terms of economy, so nice, I like it a lot. We still have level 1 armor. I'd like to see level 2 armor come out. That would help these missile batteries and these AAVs quite a bit. Not to mention the railguns as well. Look at this, man. Coercer with a 3rd artifact. Okay, and this is what I'm talking about, what I call bomber cheese. Look at this. Fuck, this is so fucking annoying, okay? Look at these bombers. They can just go in here, eat missile hits, boom, and just snipe everything, man. These bombers are actually, like, filthy. They're just filthy and disgusting. Ah, man. So frustrating. Now look at that. Now there's 1 anti-air turret. Okay, so he built a 2nd one over here again. That's good. I like it. We need to see more missile ships on the field, though. Or in fact, some support cruisers up on the front lines. Now what do we got here? Oh lord, we have an honor guard cruiser now. So Indigo, man, he's a good player.
Alert, support traffic's been engaged. Alert, anti-air turret post.
But like, he's just sitting back here, and Coercer needs to do something about that, because basically all that's happening is he's just going to keep using these bombers to wear Coercer down until he has like honor guard cruisers on the field. He's got a 2nd one in production. He's got 1 already on the field. So as dirty and disgusting and cheesy as it is, this is actually a really good play. Nice smoke though, very nice smoke. Unfortunately, I think it's only just buying time. This is a lot of skimmers. And what I fear that Indigo is doing is he's just using these expendable skimmer swarms as well as his 5 bombers to just wear Coercer down slowly and painfully Well, he just sits back and builds a ton of honor guard cruisers, and then he's going to push forward with his honor guard cruisers, and it is going to be over. So Coercer needs to like make something happen. He's got artillery, okay? He's got artillery cruisers. They are in production, and that's a really, really good thing. He needs a bit more anti-air, and he'll actually be able to probably take a fight. He does need more railguns, though. I think he has a bit too many AAVs. He needs more railguns and more anti-air. And now we already have a big push coming from Indigo. Maybe? What is this? Oh, this is assault railguns. Heavy railguns and honor guard cruisers. So, like, every type of railgun that you can build. Oh my. This is not looking good. So this is going to be a big, big push here. I think we're about to see some bombers launched. Oh yeah, there they are. Oh, look at that. God damn it, man. Nice anti-air though. And another support cruiser. I like it. Where's that artillery cruiser? Did it get sniped? Did it get bombered? It totally did. That was... I feel like that artillery cruiser was Coercer's one chance to be able to handle a fight like this, and now it is just going to be so hard to deal with this. Look at this, honor guard cruisers backed up by heavy railguns, assault railguns. Nice positioning, I do like it. His carrier is actually pretty beefy at this point, and with a support cruiser, he will be able to do a significant amount of damage. He needs to build railguns though. He should be building railguns right now. He is building railguns. I like this a lot. Really, really nice actually. Excellently done by Coercer. That was handled spectacularly, and I like this as well. Another backstab coming in from AAVs. But I mean, now it's just critical mass. And that's what I was talking about before. Indigo just using expendable swarms of skimmers and those 5 bombers to pick him apart. Well, he sat back there and just built up this ridiculous death ball of honor guard cruisers and railguns, and now there's really... I mean, things are not looking good for Coercer at this point, unfortunately. I think he played a pretty damn solid early game and a pretty darn solid mid game.
Missile battery online.
And I mean, I don't know, like,
Be advised. Carrier
he
repair
didn't really
units
make
online.
too many critical mistakes. It can be honestly so difficult to deal with bomber cheese. That's probably my most hated build, like, in this entire game. I loathe that build so much. But nice, we have an artillery cruiser on the field. Oh man, he needs a big artillery hit. He needs it. There we go. Very, very, very nice. That is exactly what he needs to be doing here. Get your carrier up there to protect. But he just has too few units, I have to say. This is probably going to be the last battle of the game. Look at all of this. Oh, railgun fire. Ouch. Whew. Man, that is a terrifying ball of railguns. Look at that. Oh. And at this point, this is just... I think there's nothing that Coercer can do, unfortunately. I have to commend him for his play, though. He went toe-to-toe with Indigo, who is a very, very good player, and he held his own. He did pretty much all the right things, too. With the exception of a few minor things, like he played pretty damn well. The thing that I think would have turned this around is a bit more anti-air. When you see 5 bombers like that, you need more anti-air. You need anti-air everywhere. That's the only way, and you have to have it all spread out. But at this point, it's pretty much game. Like, barring something ridiculous, I was good, like a cruise missile right here, but he doesn't have it. He only has power level 2. He would need 3 more power upgrades. Sadly, he does not have the time for that. So,
Destination set.
the last valiant stand of the Coalition.
All systems go. Clear out.
This has been a fantastic game, though.
We've detected something. Can you confirm visual? Red alert.
And this carrier is going to go down. Look at this. This is a ridiculous army.
Red alert. Carrier hull at 25% integrity.
Boom.
Command carrier needs
Destroyed in seconds, man.
carrier.
Alright, so that was a pretty darn good game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.